Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Anu and I make videos all about studying in the UK and life as an international student in the UK. So if any of that interests you, make sure you subscribe to my channel and watch my videos. I'm sure you're going to find them very helpful. I know I haven't uploaded in like 2 months and there's a reason for that. As you can see from the background, I'm in a different place. I'm no longer in Exeter. I have moved to Oxford now. That's because I found a job and I'm currently working in Oxford. And yeah, the reason I wasn't able to upload is because moving itself was quite hectic. And after moving, the house that I first moved into when I reached Oxford, it was terrible. I had a very hard time there. I had to find a different place. That took a bit of time. Finally found a different place. This is the one, this is where I'm living now. I'm happy with this place. So yeah, all of that, it was just a lot happening at the same time. So I'm sorry I didn't get time to make a video, but now I'm back and hopefully I'll be consistent again. So anyway, moving on with this video. As you can see from the title, I'm going to talk about how to write a good, effective CV. Now, this may not be the best way to write a CV. Honestly, I'm not an expert, but this is the CV that I used for getting my job. And so I thought maybe I could share it with you, like tips and tricks on how I wrote my CV, and hopefully that will help you as well. Also, just to give a disclaimer, all the methods, all the tips and tricks that I'm going to talk about is what I learned from my uni, as well as a place that I used to work for during an internship. So I did an internship with a small company which wrote CVs for people. So my job was to write CVs for people. So we were given instructions on how to write a CV. So that's kind of how I know how to write CV. Plus, we were given like a detailed coaching slash workshop on how to write a CV at my university, at Exeter. So yeah, I've kind of combined everything that I've learned from these two places to draft my CV, and that's what I'm going to discuss with you today. So let's begin. I have my laptop here open with me, so in case I'm looking over there, that's because my laptop's here. So first, I'm going to go through some general stuff before getting deep into like how to write every sentence. So generally your CV should preferably be of one page, like one side of an A4 sheet paper, but I understand that sometimes you might want to share a little bit more than that. So of course, two sides of an A4 sheet is also okay. I had a lot of information to share based on like my previous work experience or like stuff from my university, all of that. So I have used two sides of an A4 sheet paper, so that's fine as well. But if you are a recent graduate, make sure not to cross two. Like, don't make it like 3 4 pages because nobody has time to read, honestly. So yeah, two sides maximum, but preferably one. Now in terms of layout, in the beginning, like top, it's best if you write your name in full blocks, maybe slightly bigger in font size than the rest of your CV. So your full name in blocks, below that your address, the current UK address, or like I'm assuming you want a work in the UK, so you'll put your UK address or like whichever country you want to work in, that address. And then in the third line, your email address, you can put like a gap or like a slash or something, and your phone number. So that's kind of like about you, like all your details, personal details. After that comes like the main sections of the CV, and I would recommend that you follow a specific order for your CV. For example, first you can include education, then you can include work experience, then any sort of like projects that you might have done while at uni or while you were getting some work experience. So, projects. After that, positions of responsibility, then volunteering activities, and the last section could be additional skills. Now this is like a last section where you can add like extra information about like skills you have or the things you've done. So under additional skills you can include certifications if you've done any like online course or LinkedIn courses or anything on Coursera, edX. So I had included all of that. Awards, if you've received any workshops you've attended, and also like technical skills that you have. Technical skills, as in skills that would make you fit for the particular role that you're applying for. For example, in publishing, because I was applying for publishing related jobs, I had included proofreading, editing, marketing, content writing, um, graphic designing, typesetting, all of that. You can also include your level of expertise in bracket. For example, graphic designing, I just know the basics. I'm not like an expert in that. So I've written graphic designing, and next to that in bracket, I've put beginner. So that kind of tells the person like I'm not like too advanced in graphic designing, but I know the basics. So that's the order that I would recommend you to draft your CV in. And also, no photographs. I was told by the counselor in my university that UK, I'm not sure about other countries, but UK companies do not want your photographs on your CV. Other things that you need to make sure are pretty much the basics. Like you need to be consistent with formatting. Like if you're including bullet points, then make sure you use the same size or same design, same kind of bullet points and not numbers. Like it's kind of basic, it's kind of obvious, but make sure you are consistent with all your formatting, because it should look neat, right? Make sure there's enough spacing, make sure the lines are not too close to one another, like it should be readable. Also, make sure the format is from recent to oldest. So even like in terms of education, so whatever you're doing now or you've done like most recently, include that first, then next, and then the oldest. So even for work experience or whatever you're including, make sure it goes from most recent to the oldest. Also, if you check out websites like Canva, you will see a lot of templates for CV writing. Please do not use that. As far as I know, it's not a very good idea to use them, because they're all like what I've personally noticed. They're all mostly very colorful. First, they include photos. Plus, they're all very like colorful and fancy. Most of the companies, like the big companies that I'm aware of, they use the ATS system to select in the selection process. All the fancy CVs and all, they just won't get through with the ATS. You literally need a simple CV with a white background and just basic like black color font. Yeah, because honestly, more than the CV, it's the content of the CV that matters. Okay, so these were like the basics, like overall details of how you can have your CV. Now I'm going to talk about specifically how to draft every line in your CV. For every line in your CV, make sure it starts with the verb. For my dissertation, I had created a cookbook, and so for that, I've created a cookbook for featuring vegan regional Indian recipes as part of course dissertation. So as you can see, I've started with the verb created. Don't write I created a cookbook for featuring. Just start with the verb, and also make sure that you don't repeat the verb in every sentence. Like the next line that I've written under my dissertation's project is performed all publishing tasks single-handedly, including editing, typesetting, cover designing, printing, and marketing. Next sentence is planned social media marketing campaign and successfully sought book endorsement. So I've written these 3 points under my dissertation project. And as you can see, I've used 3 different verbs for them: created, performed, and planned. So I have not repeated a verb. Also, when you're writing, every sentence that you write, make sure it tries to cover 3 sections. First, what you did; second, how you did it; and third, the impact. Also, something else you have to make sure is that not to include full stops in sentences. Don't include full stops anywhere in your CV, and use abbreviations wherever possible. Of course, you need to use the original word for the first time, but second time, third time, don't use that word. Use abbreviations instead. Also, very important, do not use articles. A and the, do not use them. It sounds crazy, and honestly, I found it personally very difficult to draft a sentence without using them. Some of them did not make sense to me, but then of course the whole point is you should draft your sentence in a way that it does not require articles. For example, as I've mentioned from my dissertation, performed all publishing tasks single handedly, including editing, typesetting, cover designing, printing, and marketing. So, as you can see, I've written performed all publishing tasks. I did not try performing all the publishing tasks. So, yeah, that's how you need to draft your sentence. It can be a bit tricky, but then you can kind of rewrite your sentence in a way that it does not include articles. As far as I know, it helps with the ATS system. Also, your CV will obviously have a place like a town or a city. For example, in my CV under the education section, I've mentioned that I've done my MA in publishing from the University of Exeter, and on the right hand side I've written Exeter, comma, United Kingdom. So I've mentioned the city, comma, the country. For my undergrad, I've pursued my undergrad in Kolkata in India. So I've mentioned the name of my college and then the city, comma, country. So I've mentioned Kolkata, comma, India. I did not mention West Bengal, comma, India. You have to be consistent. If you're using the state in India, make sure you're using the county in UK. If you're using the city, make sure you're using the city for both, if that makes sense. Also, make sure you cover one entire line with each sentence. Sometimes it can be difficult and the sentence can go to the next line, which is understandable. If you have a lot of things to mention, it can be a long sentence that can go to the next line. That's okay, but make sure the sentence is not too short. What I mean is that it should not cover only half of your page. For example, if I'm writing a sentence like planned marketing campaigns, so that's literally just 3 words that barely reach half of your page, right? So don't do that. Make sure your sentence covers at least the entire line. So, I mean, the whole point is to make it look filled and make it look like you've done enough. And you don't want your CV to be like empty with like 3 or 4 words every line. Like that just doesn't look good. So yes, these were the main points that I had kept in mind while drafting my CV, and it did help. I hope this helps you too. I would highly recommend giving it a try. No harm in giving it a try. If it helps you, please let me know in the comment section. It would just make me happy. So yeah, that was pretty much everything that I wanted to discuss in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your job application. It's all about being patient and being consistent. Just keep applying, just be patient and just hope for the best. I'm sure you will do great. I'm sure you will get wherever you want to get into. And yeah, again, all the best. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.